Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. This is Stan Houston for Interesting Ideas, and may I call you friends. On this Friday, this messy Friday in the world, we need all the friends we can, and we are made for friends. And in fact, one of the primary missions of our work in life is to help people get pretty good at making friends. As our coming book will say, how to make good friends, and then be able to make your mark in the marketplace by reaching and serving your audience. That's coming up. Might be shortened, but it's about making good friends, and it's about reaching and serving your audience in the marketplace. Hey, what I want to do today is just take a few minutes to reflect on exactly what someone said to me on this theme is, Stan, are you still talking about? Are you still in the business of teaching this? And there it is. Yes. Are you still in the business of teaching people that they should seek to dress for leadership? Yes. Dress for leadership. Are you still saying that? Things have changed, Stan. What you say now. I say it even more. Yes, I'm very much in the business of telling you that you need to dress for leadership, and I'll give you a little bit of an explanation, perhaps a definition, and perhaps something you can think about. Let's see how this goes on a Friday. All the best and blessings to us all, and may we share some of those blessings with the people who need it the most in this world today. The program begins right now. First of all, this is a kind of a sidebar. All right, you can do that. See, that's what's great about radio. You can just kind of go off subject from time to time, particularly if something just happens to strike you. Now, usually you now know that I am no fan of the big media, particularly Gmail or Google or anything like that, even though I use them extensively because I kind of have to in many cases. But recently, when you go to your Google, there you are, your Chrome, and they're having what they call Google Doodles. And they're a point of history, and there's a nice little drawing, a doodle, and then there's a story, and sometimes these are quite interesting. And today I was just struck because I learned something I didn't know. It was said that today, October 20th, is Adelaide Hall's 122nd birthday. Well, who in the world was Adelaide Hall? Well, let me just read it to you because it says it well. And then you can go into Chrome and discover it yourself if you want. In honor of UK Black History Month, today's doodle celebrates the 122nd birthday of Adelaide Hall, a jazz singer who is widely recognized for introducing scat singing during the Harlem Renaissance. Scat singing. The American-born, UK-based entertainer had a record-breaking career that spanned more than 70 years. And the doodle artwork was illustrated by a London-based guest artist. Here's the story. Hall was born on this day in 1901 in Brooklyn, New York. Adelaide's father taught her and her sister piano from a young age. After the tragic deaths of her father and sister, Adelaide had to, no choice, but she had to support herself and her mother. And she began her career singing in the chorus line for Shuffle Along, which was 1921, a popular all-black musical on Broadway that helped establish African-American show business in 1925. And Hall embarked on a European tour for Chocolate Kitties, playing in numerous cities, including Hamburg, Geneva, Paris, and Vienna. The show was a resounding international success. Later, she returned to Manhattan and continued performing on Broadway's biggest stages. I had never heard of her. And there's more to the story, and it's a fascinating story. And she had great career success. Unfortunately, which was true of many of the strong and powerful African American performers at that time and day and age in America, she actually had much greater success and greater popularity in Europe, particularly in Paris and London and parts of Europe, where she kind of landed up and later married a gentleman from Trinidad, had 8 children, and had a remarkable career. And we talk about interesting ideas. Well, this is certainly a story about interesting people. And I will thank Google, of all things, I will thank Google Chrome for telling me this story because it was an inspiring story and something I didn't know, but now I do. I'm going to look up more about Adelaide Hall, and particularly the music of the Harlem Renaissance, which I have always been wondering about. My daughter lives in New York City, and I'd like to know more about that movement. So there we go. I've done that hopefully nicely. Hey, but here's the deal. Yes, I confess. Now, if you go back to one of my premier books that I put out, I call it, first of all, You Make the Difference. And the idea is, and this is central to my teaching, that in the sales and marketing world, before they'll buy your stuff or your services or your products, they have to buy you. And unfortunately, very few people know how to sell themselves. They don't know how to market themselves. They're freelancers or they're people involved in a career trying to make their way up the ladder or make into new positions or get greater clientele. In effect, as I say, they're trying to increase their audience. See, you don't just have colleagues or customers or clients or suspects or prospects. In effect, your life goal in many, many ways is to be the kind of person who attracts and grows an audience. And that's what we help you do. We're in the business of helping you not only develop your business, but you develop your business by developing your audience. Well, with that in mind, my first chapter in my book was about fear. Like I said, fear kills everything. Indeed, it does. And you need to overcome fears and understand them. Basic in life. And if you can truly overcome your fear of death, as Ernest Becker would say, everything powerful follows from that. The man or woman who makes their mark is not fearless, but they fear less. They're not fearful, they fear less. And I can actually report that there are some people in my life, as they got older, they truly were fearless. Death and nothing else frightened them, and they lived remarkable lives. Well, chapter 2 was, here we go. Image is not everything, but it is the first thing. Now, that was based on a story a number of years ago when a famous tennis star not only tried to market himself by the fact that he was a good tennis player, but there are a lot of good tennis players and great tennis players, but he wanted to be different. So rather than wearing the traditional whites, he started to rebel against that, which shocked everybody up. You're supposed to wear whites. And he had a rather unique behavior and rather unique haircut. And some of you actually know who I'm talking about, and you can perhaps look it up. You can even read part of my book if you can still find it. But here it went. He said, image is everything. Image is everything. And I said, no, it's not everything. But indeed, it is the first thing. That's right. We've heard about first impressions. Well, that's part of the story, but the story that is important for all of you is to understand that in this world today, you have to create an image, a strong and powerful image. You cannot be a look-alike, a smell-alike, a think-alike, act-alike somebody else. You can't do that. You have to strongly and powerfully begin to create an image. Now, that's kind of a visual representation for sure. But there's a whole lot of other things that go into an image. And that's what my chapter 2 was all about. And I was very careful about this. No, you can't just wear whatever you want to wear. You have an audience. You're on stage. What is your costume? Does it reflect well on you? Does it demean you or make you more alike? And are you a little bit sloppy? Are you overly casual? Do you walk tall or do you slump? Do you smile? What is the image that you have? And guess what? Image is not everything. You know, character is better than cute, and substance is better than style, for sure, forever and a day. But I also know from experience and the experience of others that the way I costume myself, the way I dress myself, the way I perform, the way I treat all of the audiences that I meet through the day, which might be the guy at the grocery store or the person that I just happen to meet as I get ready to board the airplane, I'm always dressed for leadership. Now, of course, that was a takeoff of a book many, many years ago called Dress for Success, and very, very popular. And it was good stuff. And what it talked about, just exactly that. The guy had done research on the things, well, it's better to have a tan overcoat than a black overcoat. And he went through the traditions of perhaps the 1960s, 1970s, the things that will help you be more successful. Well, of course, that idea certainly suffered. Then they went to business casual, and then, of course, now you can wear anything you want for the most part. Then there was the argument over whether you should be able to wear whatever you wanted to wear, or did you have to wear the company costume. All of that went to the point where I can say today, men and women in the marketplace, many of them have lost the power and opportunity to move ahead because they don't respect their image. They don't dress for leadership. Now you might say, Stan, what do you mean by that? It means a lot, but it depends on you, who you are, what you want to do, what you want to accomplish. I worked with one of my top clients in my earlier days, a man who ran an insurance business, and he said, hey, all the insurance people sell basically the same kind of insurance that my company does. Same stuff, basically. He said, so that means that I have to be the difference, that my company has to be the difference. I have to know that people will buy me, and if my product is even priced higher than the competition, people will pay it because they get me. And he actually hired me to help put that kind of thinking into his staff, which is what I fully agreed with. And there was a line where some of them said, well, hey, boss, are we ever going to have casual Friday? And I remember there's a long pause. And he said, I don't want to be casual in my work about anything, any day. Long pause. And then with a smile, he said, you know what? When everybody in town goes casual Friday, maybe just for fun, we'll go black tie formal. And they all smiled. And they got the point. And to this very day, when you walk into that company, even though my friend has moved on, you will notice that there is a little bit of a difference in both the style and the substance and perhaps the performance of those people. Because they learned what I said. It's time to dress for leadership. Make sure you think about that, and then make sure you make an effort to be, say, and do that. I'm Stan Houston. The program is Interesting Ideas. It's Friday. We need to quit. I'll be right back. Primarily in the three avenues of life that I do, and that is, first of all, to help you be a world-class podcaster, a broadcaster. That's what I can help you do. So you can reach your audience, because I'm in the business of helping you market you and to make your mark in the marketplace so that you will make more money. That's how it works. I'm in the business of actually helping you become your own world-class business performance coach. And we can help you do that. But what people have asked me to do for years, and I still do on a related basis, is I can help you figure out what's missing in your life and business, where the gaps and the cracks are, and what we need to create and what we need to do so that we not only dress for leadership, we act for leadership, we perform for leadership, we become the leaders in our industry, and we become one of the best. And because we are one of the best, we make the best money. That's what we do, and I think we do it well. So if you'd like to find out more about that kind of work together, I'll be glad to talk to you about that. Once again, my name is Stan Houston, and you can reach me at stanhouston@gmail.com. stanhouston@gmail.com if you finally want to do what I'm doing, which will make you known around the world, because that happens to me. I'll be glad to get you on the radio. Look at our web stage, witradio.net, witradio.net, and we'll help you not only be a world-class businessman or woman, maybe we'll help you be a world-class business broadcaster. Would you like to do that? Would you like people to know you're that good at what you do? And perhaps you'd like to be the kind of person that you're dressed in such a way that when you step onto the, from the ramp to the airport, that the flight attendant and everybody takes a little bit of a second look and smile. Because you know why? You're one of the few who's dressed for leadership. Think about it. Do it. All the best and blessings to you. May you discover ways to not only be a leader, but enjoy some of the success of good and powerful leadership, because by God, we sure need leaders in our world today. So if you can be one, probably a better one, and you can, seek that out. Take care. Best and blessings. Bye for now.